Namaste, everyone. Welcome back to another Trannabis Talks. It is season 1, episode 2. I have the honor of being here to coach my dear friend, Occam Wood, and I am truly excited for this session. I am Jamie London Wahlberg. I am, or known as Trannabis, Chef Trannabis. I am a plant-powered spiritual wellness coach, healer, and intuitive chef. And I defer now to Occam to introduce himself before we take off.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. And thank you for everybody who's watching. It's a pleasure to get to know you and to be in this space with Jamie. My name is Occam Wood. I'm an energetic health practitioner and trauma recovery facilitator. So I have developed my own method of helping people to identify, neutralize, and remove the energetic toxins that stem from trauma. Just what I've learned through my life of being blessed with a traumatic childhood that led to different kinds of aggravations and upsets in my life, including a very violent teenage years full of drugs and addiction. And now I've been on a 20-year journey to sobriety and enlightenment. And I love to help people to move through their past and into their future using the energetics.
I love that. And I can speak from personal experience that Occam is absolutely incredible. So please make sure that you're checking out his link, Occam Wood, below. But of course, those who are familiar with what I offer and how things go, we are going to begin by integrating with some of our plant spirit. This means that we are going to consciously choose to connect with intention to our plant spirit, asking for whatever it is that we truly need. And this can be done in any way that someone wants, but this is the way that we do it, and Occam already knows. So we're going to bring our plant spirit into our prayer stance and taking some deep breaths as if you are breathing in the frequency of the cannabis, of the spirit that's loving you. And be bold. Ask for exactly what it is that you want support with. Really claim that intention for yourself. Send gratitude to the plant spirit for all of the love, light, and healing and any support that you've asked for that's coming your way. And when you feel complete, you may engage. Connect. And so you may also notice that we have a little pal here. We've got the amazing metaphysical cannabis oracle deck by Maggie Mae Wilson, as well as Edge, and it wanted to come and play today. So we're going to see what is on Occam's heart and dive right in, see if we can cause this breakthrough together, create it within the next 15 minutes. Can we do it? What's your heart?
Um, yeah, it's interesting because like a week ago I had a lot of unclarity, but this week I seem to have more clarity. What is on my heart? What is on my heart is that I desire to help people, right? Like I know that what I have is unique, it's powerful, it's helped many people, and I want to help many more. I want to teach people what I do so that they can help other people because it's not like crazy new out of the way. It's just something that has not been done before, and it's something that I think bridges a lot of gaps, right? Like what I do helps people who are working on the mental and the emotional to really make ease out of everything else that someone's doing and using. So it's really been about reaching.
Oop, lost you for a sec. Nothing like some tech fun. He'll be back. You're back. If you wondered why I didn't answer you, it's because I lost you. That was a great smoke ring. Um,
How much did
I
you hear?
I lost you after. So like, did you see me like grasp my chest? And I was like, I love that. And then I started to talk about the deck, and then you started to talk about going deeper into what that means for you. But I think
Yeah. So
reiterating
for me, it's
reiterating that.
about, yeah, it's about like reaching out and being visible. I've been told that I'm too humble, and so like I need to breach this toxic humility so that I can bring my message out without feeling egotistical or um yeah, I guess that just kind of clicked in. I really want to be able to share my message in a powerful way that people can understand, but without feeling grandiose or egotistical about it. And so that's really actually that's 100% where I'm at right now. I think I've found this new niche that I want to help, and now I just need to step out there, knowing that I can. How do I let people know I can? That's the big thing. That's the big thing for me. Does that make sense? Is that too much? Too little?
No, it's perfect and it makes total sense. And I really feel that I heard you. So you are now finding clarity on a new niche that you wish to serve in. You are looking to serve powerfully from a place that is not from ego. And now that you are confident that you can do this and you're confident in this new um, offering, that you want to be able to share it and you want to know how to be most visible.
Hmm.
Am I hearing you correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and how to move through, like I said, confidently, and because it takes a certain level of ego to get on a stage and say, "This is what I do, and this can help you." Right, and then there's only a short step from that giant step to getting out there and being visible, and then it's a very small, teeny tiny step to I'm fucking awesome and I know more than you and I'm the best ever. And I don't want to go there. I want to go like just to the precipice of that.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay. So I have a question for you. This is wild. By the way, just like full disclosure for those who don't know, I am actually an inspiration for the last card in this deck, and it's just really funny that that card came up first. Uh, so you have a lot of cards. I'm like losing track of how many cards have come out here. But the before we go forward, because what I'm really hearing, I've lost count, but I think you've said ego at least 4 times in the last like 30 seconds. So my question is, what does the ego mean to you? What is the ego?
Well, like I said, to me, I see the ego as the accumulation of all beliefs, all experiences, all understandings, right? Like technically everything that ever has been or ever will be is in your field. And the ego is those parts that have been illuminated and imprinted on by the energetic experience you had in this life. Right. Therefore, I am strong, I am brave, I am this, women are that, men are this, blah, blah, blah. That's the ego. An imbalanced ego would be to stand up and be like, I don't know, I think it's because of the light worker in me, right? Like you're not allowed to stand up and be bold and like say this is the thing I've done or I'm doing. And so the ego to me is like I don't want people to think I'm out there just trying to make money, even though I am very much open to accepting money and financial abundance through my services and my gift. So I think it's the fine line. So sorry to answer the question, what is ego? Ego is everything that we think about ourselves and how we want the world to see us. An imbalanced ego would be to step into it saying that I somehow am better than you.
That's very clear. And so I have a question for you. Does not everyone arguably need to make money in the 3D?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got no problem making money.
And so in this polarity that I'm hearing from you of I have no problem making money, I understand everyone needs money in the 3D. And this crossover of being this light worker and I'm not supposed to, be driving in. And what I'm hearing ultimately is ambitious. That's a word that
Mm,
resonates with me if what you're saying is, there's
it's
this
accurate.
connection of spiritual practitioners are not allowed to be ambitious. And before I tie all this together, which I will, and show you these epic cards, because this is like three,
Yeah, and I
six,
think
nine.
you're already making a little bit of a breakthrough because I see where you're going with this and I think it's lovely.
Awesome. So with the ego, is the ego right or wrong? Just because you've noticed whether it's imbalanced or balanced, and is that the verbiage that's supporting you? Is that the truth that you feel? If the ego, if your perspective of what I'm understanding is true for you, that the ego is the culmination of all of it, all of these experiences. Are all of our experiences good or bad?
Mm-mm, neutral.
So from the space where everything that is happening in your ego and everything that your ego is neutral, and in the space where you are coming from of I understand that everyone needs money and I'm providing something that is powerful. I want everyone to know, by the way, that Occam fucking changed my life. And I can't wait to tell you all more about that when I'm ready. But just to be clear, like the moment that you come into this neutral space, the moment that you acknowledge, yeah, everyone needs money, and I'm providing something that's beautiful and valuable, and I am receiving within this because this is the mutual giving and receiving that the collective is doing that is feeding the collective. Everyone is fed in that completely mutual exchange. Where are you being served by holding a perspective of, I can't get up on a stage without the ego? I can't allow myself to be ambitious and earn money. How would that serve you versus you saying, I know exactly how powerful I am. I come with complete love and authenticity within what I offer. I'm doing this with a healthy, balanced ego because that is what I choose. And I'm receiving financial abundance because people want to provide it to me because of what I'm providing to them. What feels better?
Well, definitely the second, right? Yeah, and I absolutely like that is something I've come to, and it's interesting because, like I said, as you were speaking, you were triggering other things in me because I have actually worked through this particular money block, right? As far as like, am I worthy, or should I be able to accept financial exchange for this service? That was the first part of this struggle, right? Of like accepting money for the services. But as you were speaking, the other thing that came up was also like it's a perception, right? Like if I'm perceiving that there's an imbalance, or if I'm concerned even that someone else is going to perceive an imbalance, because it really does come down to like, how am I showing up? It's less about whether I deserve the money, and how, and being concerned that others are seeing me as something other than what it is, if that makes sense.
It is what makes sense. I'm going to say something that might be jarring to hear, and I feel you're ready to hear this, which is
I love those.
which is that what I'm hearing is you're afraid of looking good.
Yeah.
Why?
I can't figure that part out yet, but I just realized that that's what it was. So it might take me a minute, but,
Well, we have nine
um,
cards to talk about that. I want to come back real quick to the fact that you said the ego is the culmination of everything. And actually, this card, me, which is Mabudi, source, is literally the card that is the culmination of everything in the deck. It's actually the meaning of once you've got all the lessons, all of the guidance, all of these experiences, and you bring them all together, that all that wisdom, all of those lessons, all of that love, that is where you are coming from your highest source power, reminding you with all of these keys that you are the key. You are the key to your success. You are the key. Sorry, I'm very shaky today. You have the key for love and success. You have all that you need, all that you've ever been and will be, as you said, inside of you. And so this is an opportunity for you to step in and say what you just said. My ego is my ego. I love my ego. And my ego has taught me so much and is the culmination of everything. And with everything inside me, I have everything to provide and everything to receive. Joy and light. When you come from this place, when you honor your ego, you will find your joy. The ego has joy. The ego can be very happy. The ego can feel fulfilled. The ego can be in service, right? As you said, that confidence, you want to go on stage and feel confident. So you're going to be confident when you're unhappy or feeling lack, or when you're abundant and in joy. You know, you have this Orun is the Orisha that's here with a unicorn. I mean, just blasting with the flag and air of complete freedom, of complete awareness of the light within them. And that sharing that light is, in fact, the joy. Hold on, because Mercury is giving some really great context, and I want to bring him on. Uh,
I
coming
forgot
from,
it's just streaming somewhere.
yes, we are streaming live. Coming from a space of neutrality is so good. It's one of the first things we learned or Vita for Akashic Records work too. It's not always easy, and loving this conversation. Thank you for being here,
And
Mercury.
Mercury.
Loving this card. You are the key. Yes, obsessed with this card and unicorn magic, 100%. So, this sex magic, you and I were just talking about relationships, and ultimately what you're talking about are building relationships that are going to help you to reach your clients and building relationships with your clients. Sex magic is not necessarily something that needs to be sexual. It's really about the co-creation
Creation. Yeah.
and the fact that creation and sex magic, I mean, that is sexual. If you think about what sex is, it is a creation. There is a spark, there is an ignition, an igniting of something between one or many beings. But this card is specifically about multiple people. It's about taking two to tango. It's about nurturing and caring and compassion. And what's coming up is absolutely within actually your relationship, in addition to what it is that you are interested in looking at within this new niche. It's also very much coming into when you have a happy life, you're able to serve from that place. The ego that you are healing and balancing within that relationship is exactly the type of skill you're going to be using in the healing of your ego through this. These are not separate, because your life is not separate. Your life is your life. Your personal life is your professional life. And you're building a vision that's based off of your own experiences and beyond. You're building a vision that is clear, it is powerful, it is going to take all of your light and all of the past and all of the darkness that is still within you, because we all have the light and the dark within us. And together, when they are in harmony and balance, that is when they have their true power. Future love letter. This is a reminder that you are worthy. This is a reminder to literally write a letter to yourself. So that way, when you're having these moments of doubt, that you are actually taking a backtrack and you're saying, no, no, no. I'm going to read this letter and remember exactly how powerful I am. And write a letter to your ego too. Have a direct communication with your ego and find out actually what it is that you are so afraid of addressing. Your ego is here to discuss this with you. Mercury says, greetings. Sex magic is a real thing in all kinds of forms. Such a great explanation on this. Thank you. This card is such a Mercury card. Yes, it is. The light and shadow is amazing. Look in the mirror. Yes, you need to
I
look in the
definitely
mirror.
like the light and shadow one too, because that one particularly is definitely what is the culmination of my darkest days combined with my lightest days that have brought me to where I can hold that balance for others. That's one of my favorite perks about myself.
It's, and I love that about you. And I love that you have a perk and you have many, many, many gifts and many things to acknowledge. And you're going to have to do that through your powerful manifesting, because if you do not believe what you're manifesting, it's not going to happen.
Mm,
So if you don't believe that your ego is healed and balanced, it won't be, because nothing happens without your belief and perspective. It's all filters. I know that you feel some element of this. You have the power to choose
mm,
to manifest from a place where you are
mhm.
creating from your fullest certainty. Drop into the heart, drop into your solar plexus and be like, wake up, you know, because gratitude is here and it's around the corner. And what you're missing is the gratitude for how far you've come. The gratitude rampage is when you actually have forgotten to be grateful for how far you've come. And this is something I know you're making that face because you're like, I do this all the time. You
Well,
do.
not in that angle though. I give a lot of gratitude, but it's not always directed towards like I do say like I was blessed with a traumatic past, but when I give my daily gratitudes, I don't always refer to the where I've been. So that's a good point. That's why I love this because like sometimes we can know the same thing, you and I, and
Mhm.
the way you tell it to me is going to be different than the way I'm remembering it myself. So, um, what was that gratitude rampage?
The gratitude rampage is literally the action of making gratitude list. It's letting you know that if you are not grateful, source has no idea, God has no idea, universe has no idea, I have no idea that you are getting what it is that you want if you are not grateful and expressing that gratitude.
Hmm.
This isn't just about expressing gratitude within yourself, this is about expressing it. Do you get that? It's about expressing it outwardly. When you express gratitude from the ego, it's not possible to be out of balance.
Mm.
God, I love this card. This is the healing card. By you stepping into your power from this perspective, as you are healing the ego, all of this is going to heal so many people. I mean, this is just showing you exactly who you are. I am pouring and pouring and pouring into the biggest well into the river because I have all of the abundance. I have all that I need in every moment, and it's all cycling through. You also don't need to hold on to so many things. There are a lot of things that you might be thinking are actually like, I need to hold this close to the chest, or I need to hold this as something that is purely for support for me. You're not going to lose any of these things. You are an infinite well. And when you pour from your infinite well, you receive the infinite right back. We're all receiving from the same place. We all have, I mean, think about the collective ego, if you want to really go there. And the last card we're going to pull up with the source card, because this is the card of magic. This is the card where you are holding out, right? Palm chakras, you are holding out all of your light. All the cards are on the table. You are standing into your power. You are rising above. There is no doubt. There is no question. There is no concern. You know exactly where you belong because You are your magic, and you know that your magic is worth sharing, and you've already expressed that that is what you want to share. And you coming from a space of all that you have learned, all that you have achieved, all that you have received, that is going to put you in a space where you don't need to have that fear. And the reality is that we all have the ego, and we all are part of that collective consciousness that has the ego. So from that space, we don't actually need to worry about looking good
Hmm.
because that's a
Yeah,
waste of time.
I'm definitely not the I'm not the person who I was ever like, you need to kill the ego. And I guess I don't really even know why it came up, but obviously it needed to because it's more about like having the magic, like to manifest what I need is to really to show up though, and to just keep on doing it. And like I have made amazing. Like if I look back to just 2 years ago before I did my first long distance session, and like where I was then to where I am now, it's been wild. I had a brown goatee back then, but I just need to be able to put that whole accumulation of everything I've earned and learned and put it out there for people without the fear of my ego is perceived, because I know my ego is balanced. I know I've done the work and I'm walking that line, when I can admit that in the past there have been times I haven't, which is maybe why I'm a little extra apprehensive about that. But I feel like I'm in balance. I just need to show up and not be so concerned with what others think about my ego or how they perceive my ego, and just be me and let the rest of the shit settle.
Let me ask you something because that is a very clear and profound statement. It sounds like you know now what the answer is. And the question I have for you is, do others not have an ego that they are tapping into when they are expressing that they sense your ego?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I
We're
was just having, yeah.
we're all humaning. We're all humaning.
And for us, unfortunately, it's a lot of doing it differently, right? Like that's where we're at, is we've seen how it's been done. And so like I think there's apprehension to do it that way because of perceptions, because of what groundwork and feeling has been, placed upon those words or actions. But it's really up to us, the new ones who are doing it differently, to kind of tame that ego and take it to a safe, balanced place and show up in ego, but also with ethics and morals and with character, and not to dominate, but to create and to share and to uplift for sure.
And
So
you
I just got to
are.
do it differently.
Well, that is something that you are capable of doing. I've watched you do things differently over and over and over and over again, and you're going to be different even 30 seconds from now.
Yeah. And
So,
just yesterday, I think, was I talking to you or was talking to somebody else? And I was like, well, Jesus, there's always that, what would Jesus do? Like, well, do you think Jesus had an ego? I don't know. He kind of stood up in front of a bunch of people and told his story in the face of an entire culture that believes something absolutely differently from him. And he literally stood on a mountain and talked to as many people as he could,
mm,
to try to send the message and share the gift, because that's what it's for, right? Is to share it, and that's how we get out. So I don't know why it did come down to that, but I'm glad it came out today with you, because the cards and everything have definitely given me clarity and focus, and yeah, help me remind me of what I didn't know I knew already.
I'm glad. I'm so glad to hear it. We've got some more comments coming your way in
And I
support
don't
of the.
imbibe plant medicine very often either, so I'm just barely back. I was 2 years off it, and that's a whole journey. We got a whole topic discussion just about how that's been for the last week and a half. Reintegrating plant medicine into my life after 2 years off. So I'm pretty like under expressive of how I feel right now, just being here with you and have this clarity. Like I'm very excited, and I'm very just I'm so full of love for you and Mercury and everybody else watching. You're literally Merlin to our author. Actually used that as a reference to a client I worked with the other day, an 18-year-old. First time I worked with an 18-year-old boy. He was really a lot of fun. Like it's a lot of fun being in energy with someone who only has 18 years of trauma instead of 80.
I imagine that was much easier to cut through. Mercury
uh,
said you just pour your magic straight into the drinking water. That's the best way to do it. rising
Yeah,
above. The ego is good and healthy to have, and also have perspective on your ego makes it all the more strong to handle anything that comes your way. Yes, totally agree. We are all humaning who's really human anyway. Yes, 100%.
we're all yeah.
Yeah, Jesus did stand up. Um, it makes a total difference. I think it does. I think it does. And you have found your difference here because when we started this conversation, you were looking for clarity on what?
On how to show up more with not even more authentically, because I'm always authentic and vulnerable. How to show up without fear of perception, I guess, is the breakdown.
And where are you now?
I am to where I am feeling confident that I can show up with a balanced ego and express it differently because I'm authentic and because I'm vulnerable and because ultimately my ultimate goal is to help people and not, help with just myself. I'm pretty sure I can express the ego in a way that is healthy and balanced and a great role model for the new era.
And so it is. I believe in you so deeply. Everyone, Occam Wood, can we just like seriously give a huge shout out to Occam and so much love for being really courageous to be coached publicly live. You never know what I'm gonna say. You never know what the spirits are gonna say. And it takes a lot of courage to come up here. So
We're live.
we are
Just
live.
kidding. Just-
Oh, Katie's here. Katie Vitch, love you.
Hey,
Katie
Katie.
Jane, Jamie, and
I
Occam, two of
actually
my
didn't get a
faves.
chance today to promote much. I was going to give out the list to a bunch of people, but I got so distracted. I slept in 12 hours of sleep last night. So this on top of 12 hours of sleep and the rest of the week I've had, I'm ready to move into the future. I thank you, Jamie, so much for making the time for me and for also being my kind of go-to coach liaison, um, person that I can come to as I do reinvestigate and re-establish my relationship with plant medicine, like having the conversations we've had around the whys and hows and the differences between using it ceremoniously and using it non-ceremoniously are two very different things. And so I want to give a little shout out to you, for being the person who is, being the mouthpiece for this beautiful medicine and teaching people how to respect and enjoy and love and integrate it into their lives in so many ways. And I really relish, and value my friendship with you. You were literally there when I started speaking light language. So, uh, Jamie, I love you so much, and I really thank you for this breakthrough.
I'm so grateful that you co-created with me, that you trusted me, that you chose this. And I honor you and I thank you. And I receive this compliment with gratitude. I love how we support and encourage each other. And I love continuing to collaborate with you in all the ways. Everyone, please, please, please reach out to Occam. I cannot emphasize enough how much he's changing my life with what he does. He is truly an embodiment, an expert of something I've never experienced. And I've experienced a lot of different shit. So I can tell you, this is someone who is worth your time. Occam, please let everyone know where to find you and any final words that you wish to share before we close out for the day.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And it's been a pleasure working with you. You can find me at occamwood.com. That's my website, and through there you can see my services and read testimonials if you want. Um, Facebook, Instagram, you can find me at Occam Wood. Actually, I think on Instagram I'm at Razor's Edge Energy. That's the business. I do long distance energy work and emphasis on trauma. So if you guys are interested in that, reach out. I'd always love to be in more conversations like this. So you can check me out if you want if you want to get on a conversation one way or another. Also, I have a community. So every week we join together and kind of have roundtable coaching. It's called the Sacred Soul Circle. So if you're interested in spending more time with me and my group of friends, other coaches, and basically heart-centered change makers, and hang out every Saturday, we do Reiki and I do sound healings and meditations and that kind of stuff. So there's a couple different ways that we can connect, but I hope to I hope to make as many connections as possible and more collaborations for the future. Down with competition and up with collaboration.
Yes, there is no competition. Everything is infinitely abundant, and I can assure you that getting service from Occam is incredibly powerful. Look, Occam, Mercury said that you've changed his life forever too. So everyone knows what is good. And I love you. I love you. I love you unconditionally. And I love all of you out there. If you are interested in being courageous and being coached here, 20 minutes in a breakthrough, we've got this. We are here Thursdays live, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm super excited and honored to serve you. It takes immense courage to do this, and I can promise you that I will be here to serve and support you from the highest of high for your highest of high. Next time, we will see you here with Jacob Tell. It's going to be fun. Namaste.